Hello, Facebook friends. I'm at Paraquat talking to Jerry Ehrlich. And as you know, Paraquat was very generous and donated a bed to Candace Reed. The bed costs it's about a $5,000 bed. She had called me because her bed had malfunctioned. She's a paraplegic. Her bed had malfunctioned. Medicaid would not buy her a new one. And she really needed it because it was creating all kinds of additional medical problems. And then her wheelchair, she wasn't able to move it out of the other apartment because the power went out. And so now we've addressed those problems. You saw yesterday we were there, and this is Jerry, CEO, to kind of react to the things that the whole event and his agency being so important in being able to get this done. Jerry, what's your reaction?
Well, one, we're so sorry to hear that Candace was experiencing so many problems, but two, was very delighted that you got in touch with us and that we were able to help. This is why we're here. We've been here since 1970, and our goal, our mission is to enhance the independence of individuals with disabilities. So we do that in a variety of ways, and one of which is our durable medical equipment. The individual, Elliot, you spoke with, Dave Hessig, runs that, and as soon as I mentioned the need for a hospital bed, he said right away, I've got one in the back. I think it costs around $5,000, but it should do the trick. And then
this is like the Maserati of hospital beds.
This is. But when I first spoke with Candace, she had her old bed, and I could hear in her voice the pain. You and I just spoke with her about 20 minutes ago. It wasn't a coincidence that she was more upbeat.
But she's got the bed now, got the wheelchair.
Well, and she's got, and where she was, I asked her, I said, before the bed, on a scale of 1 to 10, a pain scale, I think she said somewhere in between a 7 to 9.
Right.
And I said, what's it now? And she said between a 1 to 3. We've all experienced pain in some way. Chronic pain like that, it's awful. It takes you down in so many ways. So for us to be able to significantly alleviate that pain and get her on a better path, we're delighted. We're delighted.
Because it was a tough goal for her. One, you're a paraplegic. That's a problem just going in, obviously. You don't need anything else to knock you down further.
No, you don't. And sadly, there are many, many Candaces in the world and in the St. Louis area right now. With many of our programs, despite the severity of certain situations, we have waiting lists. But in this situation, I'm glad we were able to quickly match with the hospital bed and get that to her. And in terms of other improvements, we'll wait and see. I know a lot of people who don't understand, for instance, think, well, what's the big deal if you put up a ramp? Just get some wood.
Yeah, because she'd like to have a ramp as well.
Right.
What's the challenges with that?
Well, there are codes, there are distances, there's material, there's funding. There are a lot of things.
You were saying she may actually need a wheelchair lift.
Right. That may be more appropriate in her environment because where she is now, I believe she did at one time have a ramp. I'm not sure how well that ramp fitted, right. But I know she also had a wheelchair lift. So, TBD, to be determined, but we are on it, and hopefully we'll get some answers pretty soon.
And you guys help with the wheelchair situation, too. I think Dave went and got it from our old apartment, at least brought it to you guys' warehouse.
Oh, Dave, yeah, it's great. If we wanted to take a walk, about 5 minutes, I could show you our storage facility, our cage with a variety of hospital beds, wheelchairs, walker. If you'd like to, sure.
Go ahead. And where are we going?
We are going in the very back of Paraquat. We're actually going to be walking through the building where this is. But when you see it and when your viewers see it, you'll understand why it can't be front and center.
Okay. And so you ask people, and I was saying, let me see this for a second. It was a collaborative effort, guys. Yeah, this was a collaborative effort yesterday. Dave got the wheelchair from the other apartment, brought it over to the warehouse here, and we had a couple of other issues. One, getting the bed to her home. That was one. That was one issue, from the warehouse to her house, and I agreed to pay this. And I agreed to pay the $700 to have it transported to her house, and then a battery was needed for her wheelchair to get it to go, and I paid the $500 for the battery. But it wouldn't have all worked if it wasn't for Paraquat. If we hadn't had the bed, then it wouldn't have worked in the first place. So it really was a team effort here.
Well, thank you. And I am honored to work with some incredible staff. And in their specialties, while I may be the CEO, they know so much more about the ins and outs of their various specialties. So this is part of it right now.
There we go.
And we have another room, but as your viewers can see, we have a lot of equipment in here, variety of wheelchairs, variety of walkers, and
Where do these come from?
these come from donations. What people do, unfortunately, a loved one may pass away, and they'll have a walker, they'll have a commode, they'll have a special cushion, and they'll call us.
People donate all this.
Oh yeah, they definitely donated, and because it's good, usable equipment,
Right.
and they want to make sure that individuals can use it.
And this is not cheap.
No,
This is pretty expensive, just like the bed was.
very much so.
That you had here. That was, like you said, about $5,000.
Yeah. There are certain equipment, we want to make sure it's more than usable. We don't encourage people to drop off broken equipment or anything like that.
Right. What's on this?
Oh, that's just
Okay.
other storage and garage.
But this gives people an idea of how people have stepped forward. I see. Is that looks like an electric wheelchair over there?
That could be.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, what happens, the electric wheelchair is one thing, the battery is another. Batteries are quite expensive.
I know.
So, yes, you do. I was going to say,
know.
it's not exactly going into Walgreens and getting your 9-volt and,
But God put it on my heart to help Candace, just like He made it. We Paraquat was able to step in right away and say, "Hey, we've got something." Because what happened was, when I did this story the first time on Facebook, I had a lot of my followers say, "Call Paraquat. They may be able to help."
well, wonderful. I'm glad so many did. And that's what we want. As I mentioned, Paraquat's been around since 1970. We want people with any kind of needs. They may think it's little, they may think it's big, but any kind of need, any kind of question, we encourage people to give us a call. If we're not able to serve, we will suggest another organization, another service. What we're concerned with is that the individual gets the type of service, gets the equipment that they truly need as quickly as possible, knowing fully well, and like I said,
What's Paraquat's biggest challenge right now?
Paraquat's biggest challenge, I think you could almost say, as a non-for-profit, you could ask that question to all of the hundreds of nonprofits, and I think virtually 100% would say funding. It's not easy. But we have a staff, we work hard, as do other organizations, and in these times especially, it's harder, but, we don't give up.
Is funding getting to be more of a challenge?
Yeah,
in the past?
yeah, I would say it is. On one end, with difficulty, there are other people stepping up. Those who are more fortunate are able to give a little bit more. But by and large, it's tough out there, and a lot of people are, maybe saying, "Gee, I'd like to give, but maybe not this year, maybe next year." Or if they gave $50 one year, and we're hoping they'll give 100 this year, they might say, we wish we could, but we have to stick at the amount we did last year, which we're very, very appreciative. And let it be known, if someone gives $1, we are very, very appreciative. But like I said, it's especially in today's climate, I think virtually every nonprofit would say one of their biggest challenges, if not the biggest challenge, is just funding.
What is it about today's climate?
Oh boy. Well, the rumor is that what's the best way to say this? That people are needing to watch their pocketbooks a little bit more. And when they're watching their pocketbooks, they're less, not necessarily less likely to give, but more likely to really scrutinize whether this is the right time or not.
Right. But you guys help a lot of people. A lot of people depend on you guys.
Yes. I mean,
people who work here. Isn't someone told me that at least half the people have to be disabled? Something like that?
We are a Center for Independent Living, and per our guidelines, a minimum of 51% of staff and a minimum of 51% of our board of directors have to be individuals who self-identify as having disabilities, which is just a very inspirational thing because, it shows to the public that individuals with disabilities work. They work in very important positions. They make important decisions. And so we always like to say we don't just walk the walk, we roll the roll, and we serve, I think, as a real good example for individuals with disabilities and individuals without disabilities.
How can people who want to donate to Paraquat, how can they do it?
Well, I can tell you what, they're welcome to give me a call. My number is 314-289-4220. They can give a call directly to me. They can look at our address. We're at 5240 Oakland Avenue.
Are you guys on Facebook? Is there a website or anything like that?
www.paraquat.org. And it'll have where they can donate. And again, we so appreciate every little bit because every little bit makes a huge difference.
Jerry, thank you, sir.
Elliot, my pleasure. Thank you for all you do.
No, appreciate you guys stepping forward and doing it so quickly. And you made one happy individual out of Kansas. Kansas.
No, we're very happy to. And again, encourage anyone and everyone. If you have any kind of question, it may not be a need for a hospital bed or a wheelchair. It might be something dealing with housing, or can you recommend a good restaurant that's accessible? Anything like that, feel free to give us a call. We're happy to be there.
Jerry, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Elliot.
Appreciate it. That's Jerry Ehrlich. He is the CEO here at Paraquat. As all you guys know, that Paraquat was very instrumental. It came up with a bed for Candace, whose own bed didn't work. Issues with the wheelchair, they were instrumental in that as well. We all worked together, but had it not been for Paraquat, this thing would not have happened, certainly not as quickly. We'd still be working on it. But when I did my first Facebook Live with Candace and interviewed her, right after that I had 20 or 30 people there call Paraquat. That's one of the benefits of doing Facebook Lives is you will be able to reach out to people who may know a little bit more than you do, or who may have an idea that you don't have. that may make it easier to help someone, which is why we do that. But I appreciate you guys for stepping up and saying, hey, call Paraquat, because that certainly made the difference. Certainly going to keep up with Candace and her situation, my Facebook friends.